Gianluca, Stephen Lee, Malcolm Luty.
Gian, he's like our bodyguard.
He's like a bodyguard. He's the band
bit.
bodyguard. Plays bass, but he's a bodyguard. And Gian is like, you know.
Scruff almost got knifed the other night. And
He's-
Gian fucking come along and took the fucker out.
He just took him out.
He
so
just took him out. It was blinding skills.
we had a chat and thought it would be really good to have Gian in the band because
Yeah.
he's just protecting us from everyone.
Yeah, because everyone wants to kick our ass for some reason.
And John said, look, if we've got him, no one will fuck with us.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
so that's how Gian came in.
Yeah, Godfather. He's the gentleman, the Godfather, and the bodyguard.
Where's his shirt? He even got him a shirt.
I
He
wear
brought
it in
back.
respect to the Godfather.
For the family! Bellissimo!
Respect for me.
Bellissimo! For the family! So if you cross Gian, you might wake up with a horse's head in your bed.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to really think. I mean, I never really got into music until I was probably, like, you know, nearly 10. Really, I first heard the first drummer just at school and stuff. And it was just some grunge bands and stuff. And I didn't really know rock and roll. And my brother brought home a CD one day and it was just Nirvana and it was just Teen Spirit. But when I first heard it, I thought, wow, you know. And then he played Offspring and for some reason I just repented it, you know, all that shit straight away. So I learned, I adapted to music very fast from there, and then it grew onto me. And then obviously I heard Slayer and I was amazed by the drumming. And I'm just obsessed with drums and music, but you know I take drums too seriously. So, but then you know I'm just way up into the metal now, and it's probably I have to admit I'm pretty narrow-minded. And I'm pretty narrow-minded. It's a lot of punk and a lot of metal.
When I first started playing instrumental, I actually was a drummer as well. I used to play drums, I was a shit drummer. But yeah, I started to play drums because I wanted to be in a band, because you know, I wanted to be, you know, playing with my friends, have fun. It was actually really good, fun. Then I used to play different kind of music then. Then I got into punk because I thought there was more currents. And you know, there's no difference between musicians and public, so I feel more confident and then more
Equal, definitely.
yeah,
It's very equal, isn't it?
No, you like, you know, you play like, you know, you can still be yourself, then you fucking
Off the stage and on.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So from there, I started playing punk bands. Now I moved to England. And for a while I didn't play because I was a shit drummer, as I said. Then somebody offered me to play the bass, teach me how to play the bass, and from there I joined different bands.
I became interested in music with the punk thing, but everyone heard of the Sex Pistols and the Clash. But how many people heard of like the Killjoys and Subway Sect and all these really great bands? For every band that sort of, you know, caught the public attention, there was a million underneath that never did. That did maybe one single or one demo tape, but they were the cream of the crop. And my brother used to specialise in getting all this stuff, and that's how I heard of lots of bands that I got into from my brother, like, you know, and that's how. But even and during that time, even before punk.
I was trying to get into the black metal, but really didn't get too far into that. I find it a bit boring, especially that. I like some melodic stuff, you know, the black metal, but then.
I just find it too. I mean, obviously it's extreme, but I like music to be a pattern, and I like to tell a story. You know, I really like to listen to any song, and I like it to tell a story. But I like blast beats, but it depends how you use them.
Yeah.
And some of these bands really don't have a clue. I mean, when you fucking go mad on blast beats, all that shit, it's just, you know. I mean, what is it? I mean, I'd rather go stab a pig and listen to it squeal than hear that, you know.
It begs the question: would you rather bum a monkey or stab a horse?
Well, I'm not a hater of black metal, because there are a couple of, I'll name one, Immortal. I'm definitely a big fan of Naglfar, but I'm not. That's about two bands, you know.
As far as that's, you know, as far as all that's concerned, give me Bathory, Venom, and
I
Hellhammer.
love this stuff.
Give me Bathory, Venom, and Hellhammer, that black metal stuff.
Yeah.
The early, the godfathers of it, because that's the best.
Well, they're just the ones who, you could. I mean, you know, Venom, they made the album Black Metal.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about that album is it wasn't black metal like it is today, and it's just it was thrash, really, wasn't it? It was just, well, you can label it
messy thrash.
Yeah, messy thrash.
Messy punk thrash.
Why is it? Why? How did that make black metal? But it did, because all the bands that are influenced who started those blast beats and all that, all on their influences say, I liked Venom, and it was always Venom, and then it got harder and harder and more extreme.
Every kid usually gets into comics, whether it's the Beano, Topper, Dandy. Every kid gets into reading. That's how you first start reading. And just me personally, my mum wanted me and my brother to start reading very early, so she you know, she got with comics the whole time. That was it. But 2000 AD had some great analogies in there. For instance, I remember there was the editor who was called Thog. He had, when they were misplaced a bit for content, they'd have these things called Thog's Future Shocks. And there was this one about some villains who were robbers. And they'd go out and rob places in Mega City 1, the fictional city where Judge Dredd lived, and that was the law, out inside of the cursed earth and everything like this. And these robbers went back to the flat, their apartment in Mega City 1, with all these diamonds and money and all sorts. And eventually, at the end of the end block on that particular episode of this Thog's Future Shock, the air was running out. The air was running out. The thing comes through the wall like a credit slip. Your recent air bill has not been paid, and they're there going, and they can't get out because they're locked in, and they can't get out, and they're going choking. They've got all this money, they've got all these diamonds, they've got all this valuable shit, but they have got no air. And I thought that was really good. I thought that was really cool. Meaning, anti-capitalism. Anti-capitalism. They're right there and then. There was politics in 2000 AD right from the fucking start, just like the Beano, and I loved that because it meant something. And if you read between the lines, kids got clever quicker because it meant something, and I thought that was really fucking cool. The last Labour leader said education, 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 and yet the only people that could afford an education exactly were those who could afford it. How dare someone have a better education than me because I can't afford it and they can? That's obscene. That would be out straight away. Fuck that. That's gone. People in middle management are going for the sweatshop mentality, and workers subsequently are suffering more so now than it seems ever. It's like every other town has a blacking factory, like from some Dickens novel. It's not just sending little kids up chimneys anymore. I was reading some report about factories in Herefordshire apparently, and it's 1.5 miles long. Now some of the workers have 10-minute breaks, but it takes, if you work up this end of the factory, it takes 6 minutes to walk to where you can smoke or have a cup of coffee. So there's 6 minutes gone.
And there's your 15-minute break.
How are they going to have a break and get back? They have a rota, like a sickness thing. It's not too dissimilar from other companies, and you can't really say names, but other companies where you have 3 warnings, and on the 3rd you can just be sacked. And there's other things as well. They have no union. What do unions mean these days anyway? I mean, you know, I'm not slagging off unions, but you know. But they're so. It seems they're so powerless these days to help people. I know many people who've been sacked, and they've went to their union, and their union hasn't been able to do jack shit. And it's a sad. It's not just because of this economic crisis. It's been going on.
Does it go deeper than the union?
I think it does go deeper than the union. I know for a fact that some companies employ a thing called managing out of the business, which means they don't just sack you; they pick on you. So you can do one of 3 things. You can get stressed and leave, and then they haven't got to worry about you anymore. You can get so stressed you punch your manager, then you will get sacked, or you could take the other route where you could go in and kill some fucker, then you're definitely done.
What do you reckon they pick on you? Is it just because they can, or is it because...
It's because the bosses want to save more money. It's cost cutting.
Cost cutting, yeah.
It's cost cutting. But the thing is, a lot of people think they're safe in their jobs. No one's safe.